Alright everyone, we start off today with a quick shout out to mankissesflag.com. You can go there and he's got various shirts available and painted of course and then printed onto shirts. Mainly Trump related, political stuff and things like that, and really talented as you can see. I really like this rendition of me. Let's see if I can do the same pose. Something like that. Anyway, a link in the description, archived of course. We have a major AstroTurf campaign, and believe me, it is mostly bought and paid for. The Kamala Harris campaign has unleashed tens of millions of dollars towards so-called influencers, towards Legacymedia, etc., to try to AstroTurf her campaign. Of course, there's a reason why a lot of the journos refuse to ask where the hell is Hayden Harris at the moment. You can tell which ones have maybe been on the dole slightly, but there's another component to it. Right now there's a news strategy, and you may see it if you use a news aggregator when you see 5 or 6 articles at the same time. I use RCP, I use Ground News, etc. When you see 5 or 6 articles that basically utter the same thing in the same short period of time within the Legacymedia, it's often the result of a centralized psyop. It's not usual that it's like, okay, if it's a big story, like let's say there was a nuclear meltdown, and of course you're going to see many stories from the Legacymedia. Alert, breaking news, nuclear meltdown in Japan or something like that. Like Fukushima or 9/11, something like that, a major disaster or some other really major event. It's normal that they'd be reported on simultaneously. Everyone's trying to gobble down that news cycle because it makes them money. There's no harm, no foul in that. But when you have something that is completely irrelevant, totally speculative, and has nothing to do with the reality, and you see multiple articles about it, that's when you know that you're dealing with a paid AstroTurf. That's exactly what we have here. The idea that the Trump campaign is crashing and burning in flames, it's in total meltdown mode. Donald Trump is secretly worried. His staff don't think, he's going to torpedo his own campaign. Let me elucidate reality. Again, I use RCP, which is very fortuitous to me. Hillary Clinton was 6.8 points ahead in the general election at this time in 2016. Biden was about 7.5 points ahead. Harris is 1.1 point ahead. Yeah, Trump is in total meltdown mode. He totally can't make it. Dude, if you have a 5-point goddamn gap from an election that you won in your favor, that ain't bad. That's number one. Swing state polling. I've matched those up too. Trump is outperforming in 4 of them. And he's roughly matching 2016 numbers in the other 2. That's not bad. Kamala Harris probably has alienated a significant portion of the military and veteran vote based on her choosing of Walz, because he's getting dragged right now. And the Legacymedia is not covering that as much, which is why content creators like myself have to tell people about what the fuck is going on, because he ain't getting it from MSNBC. No, according to MSNBC, Tim Walz is just a swell guy. Yeah, he's swollen with something. It's not horse semen, though. We've determined that. You wouldn't know that, but you've probably fucked yourself in Virginia, where the polling was already reasonably close anyway. Things couldn't go much. They have to hide Kamala Harris. Literally, they're trying to extend the Kasich effect. There are 2 things at play here. Number one, hide Kamala and, to an extent, Walz as much as possible. It's been 24 days into her campaign. She hasn't given a single presser. I wonder fucking why. She's only done a few rallies. They're diminutive compared to what Trump draws as far as crowd size. It's funny to see Nikki Haley try to backstab Trump yet again and say the Republicans quit whining. Donald Trump is not whining. He's trying to explain things to people. He's trying to explain, look, they're trying to AstroTurf enthusiasm for the Kamala Harris camp. Granted, she has more enthusiasm behind her among liberals than Biden did. That's not really a hard act to follow, though, now is it? It's not that impressive when you really think about it. He's trying to explain, look, I get 10 times the rally size that she gets. But yet you're reading news article after news article saying my campaign is in a free fall, a meltdown, Kamala has Kamalamentum, etc., etc. It is propaganda. What you're seeing right now is not even reality. If you're watching CNN or listening to MSNBC.com or CBS or something like that, you're not living in reality. That's not the actual reality. I talk to people all over the world and all over the United States. I don't really see Kamalamentum being a thing. I see Kamala Harris hiding in order to extend the Kasich effect so that it's basically generic Democrat versus known quantity, which is Donald Trump. Everyone knows his policies. Everyone knows who he is. I would like the so-called journalists of the Legacymedia to do their fucking job and ask Kamala, what are your actual policy positions? What is your position on China v. Taiwan? What would you do about that? What would you do about the war in Ukraine? What is your specific tax proposal? What do you propose? I know that you want the Trump tax cuts to lapse. We know that, so that's a hiking of taxes. But what additional taxes do you want? Because you're a Democrat and you want to raise taxes. How will you, because you've said that you want to do this, hell yeah, we're coming for your guns, basically. How do you intend to impose that? Are you talking about grandfathering in existing weapons? And how do you propose to actually confiscate them? Things like this. Very elementary platform positions. Very elementary planks in the platform. I don't know where she stands on most of these issues. Nobody is talking to her about them. When she goes to a rally, what is it? We're going to defend democracy. Ha ha ha. She cackles for a few minutes. We're going to defend women's reproductive rights. Ha ha ha. And then cackles again. Okay, that's fine. Give me specifics as to how you're going to do this. How do you actually propose that you're going to do? In what ways are you defending democracy? Because, I mean, there was no democratic process within the Democratic primaries, and, you know, she definitely doesn't want to be asked about this. Peter Doocy would cut her to shreds. How specifically, what is your specific proposal for a federal abortion law, or what you're going to do about states that have banned it or something like that? Just tell me. I want to know what your views are. I can't possibly vote for you if I don't know what the hell you stand for. Basically, it's just she's trying to, slow walk it and disappear. And then you've got this astroturfing about Trump is melting. It's a demoralization campaign, basically. That's all she's got. She's got a shitload of money on hand, and so she's running a massive demoralization campaign, and she's trying to pull a Biden. She's trying to hide herself because she knows she's not palatable to the public. If people knew her positions, if she was really pressured on them, and she was forced to, on a national stage to a significant audience, actually elucidate what she stands for, she would not be elected. She would lose. And then, sadly for her, there's going to be at least one presidential debate. And they'll probably give her the same dextroamphetamine they definitely were giving to Joe before they decided to put him out to pasture. I hope that she accepts the other two debates, too, because that would be a knockout for Trump. At least at one of them, he's going to get a knockout moment, and we're hoping he remains linear like he has been over the last few months, which is much to his credit. He's done a much better job than in 2020, and then he can deliver the death blow, so to speak. They tried to deliver the death blow to him. I noticed that was knocked out of the news cycle. An attempted presidential assassination has almost been completely disappeared at this point, not long after it happened. That's very, very strange to me. I wonder if the Legacymedia and big tech are complicit in doing so, because it happens to be inconvenient for them, because they took their shot and thankfully they missed because Donald Trump decided to look at a fucking infographic. This is the most surreal thing I've ever seen in my life. That's about all. Peace out.